You're listening to Standing in Fire. Well, good evening, everybody. This is Boom. This is actually the new and improved. This is 3 Mead Boom. I'm pouring my 4th mead. This is 4 Mead Boom, coming to you live on Twitch. That's right. I'm joined by Tess and Militus, and let me just tell you, we have got all of your Pantheon Rise of the Fallen information presented in a neat and tidy way that will help you enjoy your Wednesday. It's going to be fantastic. It's like a tidy bum.
It's Wednesday.
Woo! All right. Well, welcome, guys. How are you? Sorry, I got a little carried away there at the intro. I apologize.
That's okay. I'm so excited. We just got off watching a great episode of Minus interviews.
Yeah, that was good.
So much fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. I do have a question about that.
Yeah.
So Minus had this really interesting intro to his show where he had a picture of you.
Yeah.
And so I did post this question, but everyone was leaving chat as I watched
For sure.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the man, the myth, the legend, the guy right in front of me, the question.
Fred Durst.
As you pose with the smile like this.
Yes.
Were you sexually aroused in that picture?
Little bit.
So when you were laying down, you had like a teepee action going on, kind of?
It was a Tenacious D moment. Yeah. Right? It's kind of an exercise thing. Yeah. And, I find when you're exercising, the best thing you can do is stay positive. Right? You got to have a positive outlook on your exercise. So that's what I was doing. Well, yeah, you definitely should go check that out. That was awesome. Thanks to Minus for putting that together. That was pretty fun, man. I am officially teased on all kinds of platforms now. That's like becoming my thing.
That's your shtick.
I guess that's my shtick. I don't know how, but I've gradually just become like the poster child for all things ridiculous when it comes to gaming, and that's okay. That's okay. Somebody's got to do it.
That's Ralph said that he thinks you were doing Kegels for men.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's got the rocking back and
Kegels
forth.
For men. Yeah. It was great. Hey guys, you can either do the Kegels for men, or you can take those pills that you hear about all the time on sports radio. It's up to you, really. I choose the natural path. I choose the exercise, right? But you might be different. That's okay. It's whatever you want to do. Tess, as we get started into this wonderful podcast about all things Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, could you do me a favor and tell everybody how they can get a hold of us?
Oh, I would be more than happy to.
Hey, hold on. Do you think that's where Rise of the Fallen got its name?
That's what I was exactly thinking. I'm thinking Boom was demonstrating Rise of the Fallen.
This game might have been named after me. That picture is Rise of the Fallen. That's why I'm so happy. That's fantastic. All right, Tess.
Well,
go ahead.
Tweet,
she wants to pick
out.
on me so much.
Yeah, I should do that.
Go ahead.
Shouldn't I?
So tell everybody how they can get a hold of us. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of us.
Okay, well, let me have one more sip of my White Walker drink.
White Walker.
You like it?
Sorry, it was really going to play.
That is not coming back.
I think it's back, Tess.
I'm sorry, Tess. I won't do that anymore. I'm sorry. It's all because of Militus. He doesn't have his soundboard tonight. He's usually the one that does that. It's all. I promise. That's the only time. That was it. It's never coming out again.
I don't know why you would want to follow this crap, but if you wanted to, you can visit our website at stopstandinginfire.com.
You know why they want to follow us? We're fun.
stopstandinginfire@gmail.com. You can tweet us. You can reach out to us as a show at SIF Podcast, Boomy at Boomtap Live, and tell him never to blow the air horn again. Militus at Old Militus, or me, Tess, at Debuff This. Or you can call or text us at 702-625-1337.
That spells leads. Hell yeah.
Hey, remember when I used to do that on the old show, and it was really hilarious, and people used to like think that I blew out their speakers and stuff, and it used to scare them.
Yeah.
And they used to say, they would be like, I'm listening to your podcast, and then that happened, and I almost drove off the road, and remember all that? That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But until somebody dies, and then it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, there's no graveyards, there's no rezzing, there's no corpse running in real life. So
that's true.
Kind of effed if you do that.
I'm playing with real life here. All right, no more loud horns unless I feel horny. All right. We had a phone call. We had a text
message. We did.
Militus, you ready to go with this?
This is pretty cool.
Go for it. This is cool. This is really cool. Yeah, let's go for it.
And I got this text, and I will say I went back and forth with this person over a period of 5 or 10 minutes. It was definitely not during our show, but it was fun just to talk to someone in the Pantheon community off script.
It's not like the guy who texted us to do the drug deal.
No.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
You remember that deal? And the guy wanted to buy drugs from us, and we don't sell drugs.
Yeah,
but he wanted to buy drugs from us.
I do remember that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
We got a text one time about a guy trying to buy illegal prescriptions.
And then we got a text one time from Lexer saying he was drunk and naked.
I believe that.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, that was
yes, you were on the call.
That's real. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess
drunk naked text from Lexer.
And by the way, go ahead and go with this one, and I'll tell everybody what's going on. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so this is from Trahan, Guardian on the EQ2 Calendum progression server. Hey all, I keep forgetting to text you guys during the evening. Listen to Voices of Terminus and join their guild and your podcast while I'm working an overnight shift. Had a question about when you normally get together to record your podcast, because I find myself talking to the YouTube episode with the information I have to help your guys' train of thought. First of all, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of speech to YouTube. As a psychologist,
no.
I say you're okay.
It's good. Yeah. Right.
I
need help, so it works.
If it persists towards a certain YouTuber, and you start putting pictures of them up on your wall, then give me a call and we can try to have a therapy session.
That's like my dream come true, is if somebody has a picture of Boom on their wall. That's all I really want.
Oh God.
I want somebody to have a picture of me. Yeah. I will make that into a poster for anybody that wants it. You guys just got to call me or text me or whatever. I will make you a poster of me to put up on your wall. That's like a dream of mine. That's like an awesome thing.
I was about to say I'll make like a Christy Brinkley one, but nobody wants to see that. No.
Oh,
I could do kind of a George Costanza one.
I, as a 45-year-old, I do. I still like that poster.
Yeah, that is a good poster.
Along with my Farrah Fawcett poster that was subsequently ruined in the late 1980s for some unknown reason.
Yeah,
anyways,
that's a good poster. Right. Okay, sorry, off track. Okay, go ahead.
I had 2 points I wanted to touch on. One with Tess from the VOT podcast about crafting not being meaningful in most in-game MMO, and that there's at least one where it is. So Pantheon definitely has games to draw off of to make that work the way Tess wants it. But the thing is, I never found in Trahan in your message where you actually identified that.
Yeah, so Trahan, I would like to know which one that you think. And listen, I'm not saying all MMOs forever have had crappy craft. I'm a crafter. I love crafting. What I'm saying is, as MMOs have evolved, we've seen kind of crafting in a lot of games become less and less structured towards end game, viability, I should say, especially like equipment crafting. Like if you're like an alchemist, for example, in WoW, if you're an alchemist in WoW, you still have a ton of end game crafting ability. If you're a blacksmith, you don't. GW2, I think, has a wonderful crafting system. I love it. ESO, I think, has a great crafting system that it's not viable for like gear, but it's viable for other things. Like everybody can make furniture and stuff for houses and things like that. So I don't think that all MMOs have horrible crafting. I just really want to make sure that Pantheon's crafting is still viable and fun late game. That's my all I meant by that statement.
Okay. And two, about some of the older MMOs and how they functionally worked, so you aren't so worried about a part of the game like travel being compared to EverQuest 1. When the devs speak about Pantheon, and you have that one gamer that's like, yeah, it took me 40-minute run from Keynos to Freeport, referencing, of course, EverQuest, to get to a dungeon in EQ1, that travel sucked. Just getting this text out to see it in my phone when I wake up to remind myself to talk to you guys. Hope you respond. And I did right back and respond and tell them, thanks for contacting the show. We appreciate the feedback. And
great.
I didn't have their gamer tag, and they eventually gave it to me. And they asked if we were playing EverQuest 2. And I said, one of us is.
I kind of am. I just haven't had a ton of time to multiplay.
So I told him I was, for sure.
Well, but we didn't answer, like, I think one of his big questions, which
sorry.
is usually you can find us, if you're just listening to the podcast or to the YouTube play, you can usually find us Wednesdays at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, Twitch TV / Standing and Fire podcast. That's when we go live. Then we upload to YouTube. So, and to podcast stuff. So if you want to come join us live, that's usually when we're live. Work schedules might screw that up, but there you go.
Definitely.
As we're coming to you live on a Tuesday.
I'll add that to the contact intro.
It's all good. That's awesome.
Well, thanks for writing that.
That was awesome.
We love that. And to everyone who listens to us, please do that.
That was awesome.
We love getting those messages, love getting voicemails, love getting text messages, love getting live calls.
Yeah. So, speaking of which, so I have, now that Boom's computer, the Dell, is running at optimal peak performance right now. Like, we're talking
optimal. I like that play on words there, friend.
Yeah, we are cruising. I mean, this is good. I have it set up to take your calls live, and you can talk to Tess, Militus, and I live at 702-625-1337. So if you decide to, you can call in and comment about what we're talking about. So we'll take live calls throughout the show as we're going through. So if you just get a wild hair and you want to talk to us, join us. Just give us a call, and we will put you on the air. On that note, this is something you guys might want to call in about, because this is pretty cool. We're going to get into our first segment here, and it's titled, "It's Time to Change Our MMO Gamer Mindsets from Efficient to Jubilant." And this is going to be a Militus-led discussion, because when you hear words like jubilant, okay,
you're talking to a nerd.
You're talking to a guy who is like, hitting the research a little heavy these days.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out what jubilant means, along with other things here coming up. So Militus, take us away. What do we got for this? You just said you have questions for us. That's all I know.
I do.
Did you get like a 0 on your SAT? How do you know what jubilant means?
Yeah, I did. I know it's hard to believe that I've almost got my doctorate, right? It's hard to believe, but it's true. They'll give them to anybody these days.
They do. I have one that's proof of it, right? And myself. Yeah. All right. So here's what inspired what's about to happen. Boom and Tess and I and Minus have been having some back and forth on Twitter over the past week or so about wiping, about joining with groups.
That means like in a raid, like in a thing, not like wiping, like as in the other thing.
Yeah.
We're all good.
So we've been having some
I just wanna make
conversations
sure.
on Twitter.
If you're new to the show, I just want to make clear what type of wiping we're talking about.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely. That's the kind
Okay.
of wiping we're talking
Yeah,
about.
we're not talking about that.
So
other
that
wiping.
inspired me to think about, I made the comment a number of weeks ago that we have forgotten what it's like to play an MMO. That we have been conditioned by WoW and other current MMOs that basically behaviorally condition us to do things like dailies, where we become rewarded with efficiency and loot, right? Efficiency, loot, and anytime we don't get loot, or the efficiency in getting that loot as we don't feel like it's efficient as possible, we have a negative emotional reaction to that.
Right.
And that's not really entirely our fault. I think the game industry has some culpability there because they've designed these games over the past 10 years, I would say, like heavily emphasizing this area. So it got me thinking about the way I could change my mindset when I approach Pantheon when it does launch, and then maybe how I could practice changing that mindset now in preparation for that. So I decided to play some EverQuest 2, and Boom, had been gone. As you guys know, I was gone for over a week visiting family back in Texas. And I come back having played no games, and everyone in the guild had kind of, most people I should
moved
say,
on.
had kind of left
Sure.
on. In fact, tonight our guild is raiding
Yeah.
EverQuest 2.
Yeah.
Check. So we got
Speaking
level
of which,
50.
do we want to see what they're up to right now? Would you guys like to see what's going on? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna switch over here.
peek.
We're gonna see. So this is a live peek
Boom's
at what.
talking.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is what
I
the
feel
guild
like,
is going.
there needs to be like helicopter.
Listen.
like, I
Would
can't
you
do it.
let the
I
audience
just-
know there is a distinct chance they cuss us out? Go ahead, Boom.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to switch. So you guys will not be able to hear me when I switch channels here because I'm gonna switch channels here. Okay, real quick. But I do have the raid up, and so everybody's kind of seeing it. I'm gonna now enter their raid channel. Okay. All right, so I'm in raid group 1. Here we go. Hey guys, you guys are live on the Standing Fire podcast. What's happening?
What's going on?
We're watching your raid. We're literally watching your raid right now. Everybody is watching your progress in the raid right now. You guys are live on the Standing Fire podcast. What's happening? Sorry, it's going back and forth. In your raid. We're literally watching your raid right now. Everybody. Okay, sorry. I got all kinds of echoes and things going on. But what's happening? Where are you guys at?
Zach.
That's fantastic.
Fight Darethar.
Have you downed anything tonight? Have you accomplished anything?
We got the Ranger a new bow.
Well, that's always good. All right. So the Ranger got a new bow. Any big stories, like anything epic happen?
Not yet. It's building up right now. We're actually on the road to the big epic dragon fight at the.
Yeah,
Zen got number 2.
0 wipes.
Once.
All right. So I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna check back with you guys when it gets epic. All right. So we're gonna come back in just a little bit.
Sounds great.
We'll be here.
You guys when it gets epic. All right. So I'll hold on. We're gonna come back and just hold on. There we go. Okay. So I don't know why it likes to do this weird delay thing there, but there we go. I talked to him. They're getting close. Hold on, I got to move back into our scene here. Nope, that's the wrong scene. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk with them when they get to the dragon.
What was that? We got like 5 seconds of like the gal doing the what was it called? Pony prancing or whatever.
Hey guys, let me just put it this way: you get what you pay for with the show, right? This is the thing. You get what you pay for.
High quality show.
You get high quality show.
High quality.
All right.
High quality.
No, so they're actually doing pretty good. So we'll go back to that. So go ahead. I'm sorry. You were.
Right. No problem.
We interrupted.
No problem.
Yeah.
So I was gone for a while, and I kept thinking about mindset and approach to this idea of efficiency versus, jubilance. And
Jubilation, I think, is the adverb you're looking for.
Is it?
Ooh,
Okay.
jubilation.
Sorry. Jubilation.
Yeah.
Being jubilant versus being efficient. And what I made the decision. I was going to log into EQ2 after having been gone for about 10 days. I haven't run with a group. A lot of people left me behind. And I thought, my goal is not to be efficient. I don't care if I just run my ass around in EQ2 and a complete no quest. That's fine. I'm just going to run around, check stuff out, talk to people, buff people, help people. So I did that. I ran around in Thundering Steeps. I was going to say Burning Steeps. I ran around in Thundering Steeps, which is like a level 20 to 30 zone. And I ran over this elite mobs, right? Boom. There's elite mobs running around, and I pull one, and they just annihilate me.
Yeah, right.
So I look over to my left, and there's another dwarf standing
Okay.
next to me.
All right.
And I'm like, I wave at him. Hi. He
Mhm.
waves back. Hi. Different guild. I said, hey, what are you doing? He said, I'm almost level 30. I'm level 29. He's like, I need about 10 kills or 8 kills to get this level. I said, that's cool. I said, you want me to join you? And he's like, well, do you need this for quests? I'm like, man, I don't even know. I have no idea, but I'll join you. So I joined them. They buff me. I buff them. So we go in, we kill a bunch of the mobs. I think we kill 8 of them. He levels. I look to my quest log. Lo and behold, I do have a kill quest for 10 of these things. So he's like, hey, thanks a lot for the help and have a good day. And I'm like, hey, man, I need 2 more. Can you stick around? He's like, man, I stick around. We kill 10 more. What do you want to do? I said, just 2. So he hung out for 2 more. He added me to the friends list. I added him to the friends list. We had a good time. And I thought, okay,
That's great.
we have to change our mindset because
that's a good story.
my mindset with WoW is get in, world quest, emissary. You see what I'm saying? That's a different way to
like
approach it.
accomplishing a task. Yeah.
Absolutely. And being like goal driven and super efficient. And that's not the way I think we need to work.
I
have a
haven't thought of
test
that
for
that way.
I have a test for you and Tess to take.
All right.
Because
Let's
we're
do
going
it.
to assess.
Do you
We're
need
going to
music?
assess and quantify
Oh, this is going to be quantitative data.
the jubilation
Okay.
boom and test. Are we ready? And
Yep.
and
I got some
chat,
music
so you can
for
certainly
the
follow along
quiz.
if you want. Yeah, we need
Okay,
some.
here
We
we
need
go.
some.
Well, really quick, just for listeners, I want to define jubilation for them. Jubilation is a feeling of great not
Happiness.
just happy, but it's great happiness plus triumph.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And the kind
That's
of
how
triumph I'm talking about is
That's how I feel every time the
triumphing
Dell
over your
computer
efficiency.
gets through a podcast.
Boots up.
Every time.
No, just
I
when
feel
it boots.
jubilant.
Just when it
I
boots.
feel jubilant. Hey,
All right.
this little Dell gets it done, guys. You tease the Dell, but the Dell is getting it done. All right, go ahead. I'm
So
ready
for
for it.
every question, and there are going to be 8 questions,
Do I have to
Okay.
write this
you
down or something?
only have 3. No, you don't have to write it down. I'm recording a response.
Okay.
You only have 3 possible responses. So let's talk about them. You disagree adamantly. You agree,
Mhm.
or you in fact 3 choices.
Don't
That's
you
it.
know that having an odd number choice gives you skewed data results?
Could have had 5, but I didn't think you
You
guys
should have had 4.
or
You should always
6.
have an even
Yeah,
number
6. Well,
because
that's
then
fine.
people go middle all
Yeah,
the time.
but you would forget them because I'm gonna be talking.
Yeah,
Just
that's
3.
fine. So
Disagree.
I either really
adamantly
disagree,
Agree.
I agree sort of, or I agree like wholeheartedly. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Gotcha.
All right,
Here
chat,
we go.
play along.
Here's your
All right.
first question. No matter how much video gameplay skill I have, I can always change it a great deal. Do you disagree with that emphatically? Do you agree? Or do you wholeheartedly agree? Right? So, no matter how much video game skill I have, I can always change it a great deal. Boom.
Agree.
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 Tess.
I disagree emphatically. I think I'm a terrible gamer.
Package. Wait, package. All right, what do we got from Tess? You want to? So, chat. I can't keep up with everyone's, but I'm
that's
assuming
okay.
we're gonna have some feedback from them
We'll
too.
get back to that.
Okay. All right, here we go. Question number 2. I can learn new things, but I cannot really change my basic skill level. in gaming. I can learn new things, but I cannot really change my basic skill level in gaming. Boom.
Disagree. Wholeheartedly disagree. Yeah. Wholeheartedly
Okay.
disagree. Yeah.
I also disagree. Even though I don't feel like I often play as well as I'd like, I always think that I can get better with more practice. So,
Question 3. I like my video game play best when it makes me think hard. I like my video game play best when it makes me think hard. Boom.
Now, this is a tough one because sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. So I don't know how to answer. I'm going to go ahead and agree with that.
There are games that you love because
I'm going to agree with it,
I
not like
understand your
strongly agree,
trepidation.
but like there's some
Gotcha.
some
In the
nights I
middle.
don't want any.
It's like in the
I-
middle road.
Yeah, there's some nights I don't want any kind of challenger to think. Like I just want to like veg out. And then there's other times where I'm like, back in when I was hardcore Magic the Gathering, which I was for a while. Like when I was hardcore Magic the Gathering, I thrived in that game because it was like I am thinking through this crap, and that was exciting. So I'll just take an agree stance.
I'm kind of with Boom in that, and Day in that it is situational. But I would say overall in my gaming experience, I would emphatically agree.
Okay.
I usually want to be challenged mentally by my game. Usually. There are days that I just want to veg.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Question 4. I like my video game play best when I can really do it really, really well without too much difficulty or trouble. I like my video game play best when I can really, really do it well without too much trouble or difficulty. Boom.
This is another tough one because I'm on the fence again. Kind of the same thing as last question. I'm gonna disagree with this, but also say there have been times in my life where I do want to breeze through stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and disagree.
Okay, so Mila, I'm going to allow you to assign me a score based on this response because your quantitative data is baloney.
Okay.
I
hardcore with
feel
this.
No, you're just mad because I'm making you pick between three.
It's
very
you have to just
different
pick. You gotta
options.
pick. You gotta pick.
No.
I cry
no,
foul
it's because
test. You
you're-
gotta pick. You gotta pick.
No, it's because his
You need to pick one of
question
these.
has too many variables in it.
But it doesn't matter. You gotta pick.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. This is
I
empirical
can't
data here.
on this one.
You have
Because-
to. Come on.
You have to pick one.
Well, all right. Well, then I guess because
Which one resonates
the
with you
whole-
most?
Well, hang on. If I'm just screwing around by myself, I don't care. But when I'm with a group, and especially since I usually tank, if I screw up, I feel like crap. You know what I mean? I feel like I let everybody down. So
So
I
these
don't know.
questions are relevant to Pantheon, and in Pantheon, you're probably going to be playing in groups.
Yeah,
so
right,
then
right.
I would say I would say I don't want to screw up. I don't want to let everybody down. And I feel
Okay,
like
so-
crap when I do.
So then you would disagree emphatically
But
with that.
yeah.
Like with Boom. Okay. Sorry, just recording your responses here.
Well, I
Question-
tried that day, but it didn't work. They made
Are you trying to determine whether or not we'll like the game? Is that what you're trying to determine?
No, you're taking, right now you're taking a survey. I'll tell you what it is in a second.
All right.
Question 5.
Yes.
I like video game play that I'll learn from even if I make a lot of mistakes.
It's the same question.
No, it's not.
I like video game play that I learn from, even if I make
Make a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of a sometimes thing too, because as I talked on Twitter today, there's sometimes I get tired of making mistakes. I'm gonna go ahead and just run the middle here. I'm gonna go agree.
Okay.
I will go middle as well. Well, actually, I'm going to emphatically agree, because even if I make mistakes with my raid and I screw everything up and everybody hates me, then I feel like I can go into the world hopefully by myself and at least like gain some skill. Just gameplay skill. Yeah.
All right. We are off to question number 6.
All right.
I like my video game play best when I can do it perfect with no mistakes.
Disagree. Strongly disagree.
Nope. No.
Okay.
Emphatically agree. I mean, who doesn't want to be perfect at what they're doing?
I actually could have guessed that
It's
one
not-
for you. I could have guessed that that's what your answer for that one. I know you well enough as a friend. I know for a fact that was the answer you were gonna say. Yeah.
I want to be perfect.
Yeah.
And when I'm not perfect, it bothers me on a deep intellectual and emotional level.
It does, really. It does. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm OCD on gameplay. That is where I get OCD.
For sure.
Okay. Number 7.
Okay.
I'm
When
gonna get the worst score on this freaking test.
This is her trying to be perfect right now, by the way. Did you see that? She thinks that there's a perfect for this. Okay, go ahead. When something's hard.
Yeah, so this is like the opposite of the plantain graphic we show.
Yeah,
when
right. When something's hard, not getting soft with the community, right? Getting hard. With the community.
When something is hard in video games,
yes,
it just makes me want to work more, not less.
Disagree.
When something is hard in video games, it just makes me want to work more. Okay, boom.
There's a line. I'm going to say disagree, but there's a line. You see, because WildStar crossed it. That's what I've been telling everybody. WildStar crossed the line. They made it so hard you couldn't actually do it. The content became inaccessible, and then that just ruined it for me. But if the content is accessible and I have to work towards it, I'm fine with that. If it eventually means I can do it. But that's the problem. Through grinding or through whatever I have to do, if I could do it. I guess I want to be able to grind to make up for any playing deficiencies I have. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I emphatically agree.
You agree?
Emphatically agree.
Emphatically agree, no less.
Emphatically agree.
All right.
I always, I am always striving for that. Like I want it to be hard, and I want to work and work and work, and then when I get it,
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. Question 8.
Oh yeah, Day makes a good point, by the way, in chat. Hard but achievable.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind banging my head against the wall for a while, as long as it's a wall that I actually think I can get through.
We're talking a lot of things tonight. We're talking about hard banging against the wall. There's a lot of things. Sorry, guys. I just want to apologize up front. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Question 8. To tell the truth, when I have to work hard at video games, it makes me feel as though I'm not very smart.
I have to work hard at video games. It makes me feel... I disagree. It doesn't make me feel not very smart. I know I'm smart. That's an ego thing.
Wow, that's one of the... This is an interesting question, because this is a logic versus my irrational mind.
Yeah, you're going to struggle on this one.
Yeah, I would struggle, because my mind goes, emphatically disagree. I am a genius. Like, what?
Right. Just like me.
You know?
Yeah.
But no, when I fail in a game, I feel like a dumbass all the time. Like, I feel like when we wipe, it's my fault. I screwed everything up, even though it has nothing to do with me. Maybe it's ego. Maybe that's what it is. I always think that I am either going to win it or lose it for the entire team.
We do blame it on the tank a lot.
Well, yeah. I will say, can I do a soft disagree?
Back
soft-
to the soft.
A soft disagree.
Can I do a 2? Can I do a 2 for as a soft
Unfortunately,
disagree?
No, you can
So
only
you
do
would
a
say agree
hard
then.
agree.
Yeah.
You have to be hard on the agree. You can be
hard.
soft on the disagree.
Soft on the agree, or I can be a
can
hard,
be
Hard
a-
on the
disagree.
disagree.
You can be a softer disagree.
Does it make me feel like an idiot? Okay, I'll do a soft a soft agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. I'm tallying up your scores here. Just give me
Okay,
1 second
all right.
here.
I lose.
I don't think
I
this is a
need more
winner.
of this.
Militus, was this a win or lose thing?
Boom. No. It's not a win or lose.
See,
it's just
it's
an
not a
insight
win or lose
into
thing.
you.
I
No,
can't
this
win
is gonna
this
say.
game.
It's gonna
Tess.
say, Tess, you're neurotic.
No,
and,
you can't.
And
Oh my gosh, Tess. This is not. There's no way this could say that.
yeah, I could. I know exactly what tool he's using, by the way.
Oh.
I use the exact same tool for my master's degree. I know exactly
Alright.
what he has modified.
All right. I'm excited. Let's hear the results. What's this mean for me? What's this mean about my?
So boom,
what's this mean about my personality?
So the questions this test is alluding to is a pretty standardized fixed versus growth mindset survey.
Right. Okay. All right.
And yeah, I did modify the questions from educational kind of questions to video gameplay questions.
Mhm.
So let's add up yours. So boom, you answered the first question, agree, which is in the middle. It doesn't count one way or the other. Question 2, you answered disagree, which you said you can learn new things, but you can't really change your basic skills. That demonstrates a fixed mindset. So 1 fixed mindset for you. Question 3, you said middle, which doesn't count either way. Question 4, you said disagree, which was growth. So we're now 1 fixed, 1 growth. So we're back to
Okay,
even.
So I'm back to even.
Question 5, you said agree or none. So we're still back to even. Question
Yeah,
6,
Mhm.
you said disagree, which was growth. So
Okay.
we're 1 up for growth.
Okay.
7, you said disagree, which was fixed. We're back to the middle again with you.
Yes.
And question 8, for the win, you said disagree, which is growth mindset. So by barely, by
Yeah,
1 question,
I'm like I'm a
you
touch growth mindset.
you answered growth. Okay, let's go to
you
test.
Know, you know the
Oh,
test that you know the test that has
100%.
4.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know that one test that has the 4 different traits? And it's got the quadrants and whatever. I fall
Oh, the
directly. in it.
MSL. Yeah,
I
yeah,
always
yeah,
am
yeah.
in the middle. I'm always dead in the middle. See, just like this, I'm always in the middle. All right.
I have a new one. If you want to try a different type of personality test, I'll send you
All
one.
right.
It's very
Well, this is
I
mindset
like
test, not a personality.
Well, and I understand, but
All right. Let's.
Yeah.
But let's
go
let's
ahead.
calculate testing.
Let's see. Okay.
Question
here we go.
1,
Test.
Tessie Poo fixed.
Yes.
yep.
Okay. Question 2, fixed. Question 3, what it makes me think. All right, actually, growth. Question 3. I said so. We're back to just 1 fixed. Alignment 4, growth. So we're back to even. Okay. Question 5, test, growth. Question 6, so we're 1 up for growth. Question 6, test, fixed. Back to even. Question 7, growth, test. And question 8, you picked the middle. So both of you scored exactly
Hey,
the same.
yeah.
You ended up
Yeah, that's
with
great.
1 more growth mindset than
Makes
fixed
sense.
mindset on
Yeah,
the 8
that makes
questions.
I'm
sense.
shocked.
Now, Militus, how did you do on this when you took it yourself?
I was growth mindset. I think I was
You're-
like a
He was probably like plus 17.
Yeah, he was
I was
like-
like plus 88 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. There's 8 questions, and somehow he got a plus 10.
But so you guys alluded to it real quick, but
Excuse me.
could you, since you're both so well versed in this, tell us what's the difference between fixed versus growth mindset? Come on,
Well,
Tess.
I think a fixed mindset is a resistance to putting yourself out there in terms of accepting failure.
Right. That's
Okay.
exactly what
It is. It's a failure aversion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, question for you: is it a failure to log into Pantheon, a group-oriented MMO, pull a mob, and get your ass handed to you?
No.
No, it's not. Not a failure.
Mentally, No, it's not. But we touched on this before. I have major cognitive disconnect between what I know and how I feel. You and I need to sit down. I need some therapy because because I always feel like it's my fault, even though it has nothing to do with me. And and honestly, I think that is almost, like I said, kind of egotistical of me to think I make or break something,
Okay.
but I feel that way. And I think I've grown to feel that way based on all of the kind of negativity in a lot of groups where failure, even making the tiniest mistake, everybody poops on you for the whole thing, or they group kick you,
But that's your perception. That doesn't actually happen to you.
What? You do it to people all the time.
I don't kick people, whatever. It's okay.
So what about you, Boom? I'm gonna ask you the same question. If you log into Pantheon, we're in an MMO, and you die to mobs, is that a failure?
No. However, if you die repeatedly to them enough, that growth mindset becomes a fixed one pretty quick for me. If that makes sense.
Okay, but
so
let's-
does that
let's
kind of
back
make
up for a
sense? Because
second.
I think
it does
in terms
if
of
you
Wildstar.
approach it from this efficiency. This is this is my main argument. If
Okay.
you approach a Pantheon from this idea that you have to be a WoW player and you have to log in and you have to get your emissary done and you have 15 minutes and you got to get it done and then you got to craft this item and you got to do this. If you approach Pantheon that way,
And you have to know exactly
gonna-
how to skim all the mobs in every single
then
raid.
that's
And
correct. That's the wrong mindset for a game like Pantheon. The mindset's got to be exactly what I just told you guys about with EQ. Look, I could have logged in and not run into that shaman or dwarf, and I could have died and logged off, and with my expectation of, listen, I will figure out how to play my class better. I will be forced to make friends, even if I leave that gameplay session without having accomplished the quest.
Well, let me put it this way.
I don't fear the failure of a difficult MMO. I embrace the opportunity to grow from my failures. I don't avoid them, as you said, Tess.
Yeah, this is what I would say though. I would say that I think that my growth plus one mindset in a game like Pantheon and what I've seen from this community can very quickly turn into an exponential growth mindset, because I think now I'm going to need a little training. It's going to be a little scary for me to start, but I think after running into the same thing that you did, because I ran into that in EQ too when I was playing a little bit of it a couple weeks ago. I just haven't had time to really jump on, but I ran into the same thing. People wanting to be there and help each other, and and it took me a little bit of time to be like, wait, you mean you're not going to be a dick? Okay, wait, well, hold on. I need to wrap my head around this.
But the point is, too, you are going to run into dicks. I'm sorry, they're going to be there, but you just have to have the mindset to push through.
It's also if you run into dick after dick after dick after dick, versus every once in a while you run into a dick, then there can, especially for someone like me who is easily influenceable, you can have it can definitely change your gaming mindset. So that's why I think Pantheon's going to kick butt, because everybody seems, the vast majority of people seem just wanting to help.
You gave me the best sound clip in the world right there.
I know I did.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you and I made it.
Yes, you gave me the best sound clip in the world. Here's my thing.
Okay, wait. We have a question for you though, Boom. Really quick from chat.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Do you think you are more emotionally or logically driven?
I feel I'm balanced. I feel like
he's more RV driven.
I'm more RV driven. Thank you.
That was from Day.
I feel like the older I get, the more I can control that. I feel like I have emotion that used to run me. I feel now I'm a little more, I use my intellect and my intelligence now to kind of make sense, heads or tails of that. I pick my battles now. I don't get emotionally attached to them. The thing that, okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. The game Flappy Birds. Okay, that was a huge hit, right? But it had a very short lifespan because that sort of challenge has a novelty to it, and then it wears off. Which is what I'm saying. You have to be able to go into something and achieve every once in a while. Otherwise, you will move from a growth mindset to a fixed mindset quick. If you just go into a game and you never accomplish anything and you leave and you're like, oh, well, I talked to a guy, but we didn't really get anything done. Okay. Oh, I went into again and I went to a guy and didn't get anything done. Three days of that, you're going to be playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You're going to be right back to where you can actually get something done and have some fun. So I agree with all of this stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, you can't go Flappy Birds on mobs. You can't make bosses Flappy Bird bosses where only if you are 1% accurate, you're gonna win. It's just too much. You got to balance this. Otherwise, you go Wildstar quick. You go Wildstar like overnight with this. That's not, that's all I'm saying. That's all I have to say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I just think that whatever you're doing in gaming, raiding, running dungeons, whatever, this has a level of difficulty.
Yeah.
You just have to adopt this mindset that you're gonna fail.
I think you're right.
And
I agree with you.
You just gotta keep pushing. But you have to tell yourself that, it's not just enough to love a game. Yeah. It really isn't. Like, I loved Wildstar. You brought that game up, right? And I know I made this mistake. I made the mistake of kind of allowing my failure at times and then externally attributing that failure back on the devs, which wasn't altogether true.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to have a moment of truth here with everyone listening. A lot of that is Militus didn't enter the game prepared enough and with a mindset of, hey, I'm going to fail, I'm going to get better. More it was, these damn devs made this too hard, and there might have been a degree of truth to that, but I think a larger degree of truth was my mindset was just getting more soured.
The first raid boss.
And I turned away from the game.
The first raid boss was not defeated for 2 years. Like, you talk about growth mindset. You got some guys in there that had a growth mindset. They just kept whacking at that thing and whacking at that thing.
Are you sure the game actually lasted for 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years it took before that first boss fell.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying is somewhere there's a line. There's a line you cross.
No, I'm with you. I just think, agreed.
Yeah.
Here's my point. For a lot of us, the line's too close to the starting line.
Right, I agree with that.
You start,
I agree with that.
That line is just too close. You got to push it off a bit. You got to tell yourself it's got to be pushed off. Just like I told myself the other night. I'm going to get in the game. I don't care if I don't kill a damn thing. I'm going to roll around. I'm going to have fun, check stuff out, and then I'm going to adjust afterwards. But here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell myself that I'm not going to log in because I feel as though I'm going to fail before I ever start.
Right.
That's what you can't have happen.
That's a very
games like that.
If you're going into the game thinking you're going to just log in and blow through it, that's a very consumption oriented mentality, which, by the way, we've been trained to consume video games. That's how the money pot keeps flowing. The idea is that we are totally trained to just roll through it and consume. And so I do agree with you. You've got to kind of have a different mindset than a consumption based one. But if you don't get to do anything, I don't know. And that's my only fear for Pantheon a little bit, because when I hear people talk,
see, here you're kind of demonstrating fixed mindset.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's value in just kind of, you said this all the time. You always say this.
Yeah.
That you are enamored with WoW when it first came out, because you were launching this world.
Because I didn't do anything. Yeah.
With all these people. You just walked around. What I'm saying to you is,
that's
why
true.
don't you do that anymore?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Why not? Is that not valuable to you?
Yeah, it's changed.
Because
because I got reconditioned to consume the content.
You convince yourself that it's not value.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
I
if
agree.
you can if we can ground ourselves back again, I think we can have
That's
more
a good point.
growth mindset. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, Militus has changed all of our minds, and now's the segment where we talk about Tess because she's not here, and so we can just talk about her and say anything we want.
Excuse me, when is Alpha
We
going to
can-
take place?
This game
when
never
is
coming out.
Remember
that episode?
Hey, you better not make the game too hard, I'm telling you. If I have to play the game and actually say it, you put
All right, that sexy voice was, of course, Tess, who is bringing us our Pantheon Patient segment about how we spent our time in gaming this week. So, Tess, tell us, how did you spend your Pantheon Patient time this week?
I didn't have a ton of time to play. I played like a little bit of some D&D this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a little bit of ESO with Mama Tess. But I found kind of a news story and I thought it was really cool. Can I share it with you?
Yeah, it's a great news story. I think this is very appropriate.
So, as we all know, and just it makes my heart ache.
Right. Horrible.
Because when I was growing up, I wanted to have 2 jobs. Well, 3 jobs. The first job I wanted to have was I wanted to be an AT&T telephone operator when I was in kindergarten.
That's good. All right.
And then I wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to be a religious architect. And I wanted to build cathedrals.
Oh,
I know. Okay.
It's a
then my
logical
mom
jump,
told me,
guys.
well,
That's what I'm saying. It's a logical jump.
my mom told me that they've all already been built, so I went back to my my original.
That's a soul
I
crusher.
wanna
I'm
be
gonna
a
have to
teacher.
talk to Mom and Tess about this.
Yeah,
as a soul crusher.
Well,
meanwhile,
so
churches are being built in shopping malls around the country, right? It's like an old Big Lots, and they just throw a church
I didn't
in
want
there.
to just build a church. I wanted
Yeah.
to build a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that if you would have followed your dream and Mom and Tess wouldn't have crushed it, we wouldn't have a church in every strip mall. We'd have some cathedrals being built again.
I know, right? Because
Yeah.
this last summer I went to Barcelona and we saw the Church of the Familia, which is still the anyway. I won't go.
Yeah, right.
I won't dive.
Right.
But the Notre Dame fire, it absolutely is just gut wrenching to me. I'm very lucky that I have been there and I got to see it in all of its splendor. But hey, France, we're there with you. What a absolute loss. But I found this really awesome story. And it said after the fire, they're going to have to rebuild, and they're going to use a lot of different things, pictures, videos. And one of the things that they're going to use to rebuild, to make sure that everything is correct, is Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
Because
It's really pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
They had like almost a complete scanned texture.
It is really remarkable. They show that. It's a game that came out for a little while ago too. I don't know what year that came out, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, that's just, I thought that was really fun how a game, and actually a game that critically didn't do great.
Yeah, right.
I do remember that. Yeah, it had
Yeah.
a lot of problems when it first launched.
Yeah, critically didn't do great. It can help rebuild such an iconic structure. I thought that was beautiful. And
it's like digital archaeology. Are we at the age of digital archaeology? Is that going to be a thing?
Yeah, well, obviously,
Yeah.
because another story that I was reading about was from this guy from MIT who had done a whole bunch of scans of and had, but now can't like send it to France because he doesn't have enough CPU power. Like they need.
He's running a Dell
crazy-
Optiplex. I'll hook him up.
They need.
I'll get him the extra power he needs.
Crazy.
I'll give
So
it.
anyway, I thought that was really
if you're
cool.
listening to the show, Mr. MIT guy, because we know Baylor, they listen to our show. MIT guy, if you're listening to the show, the Dell is yours. You reach out to me, and that's the processing power you need to get those plans.
But I thought that was
It's
really
yours.
cool.
It's yours.
And so I put the link to the story
very cool.
in the show notes, so you can check it out too.
Very cool. That's very, very cool. I think it's just pretty interesting that, you know, that these game designers have now gotten to the point where everything is so realistic that this is even a possibility. I mean, it's just sometimes I just get in game zone. I'm in wonder. I just walk around sometimes and I'm like, I cannot even believe that somebody created this. And I do. I just am fascinated by it. It's just amazing. How about you, Militus? What is your Pantheon patient segment?
I sent you that sound clip.
Mine.
patient.
There we go. Mine is. I alluded to it earlier. Not only did I have that one. Not only did I have that one experience with just running into the player, but I also made a mindset decision that I was going to seek out group members. So I reached out to Art and Nikki, and
How are they? I missed them.
they're doing really, really well. And I reached out to Trancer. Do you guys remember Trancer from Guild? They were playing. So Art, Trancer, Nikki, and I ran this dungeon. And when you guys both get to your late 20s, we must go here. It was so crazy. It was called Nectropus Castle. And it was in this weird, swampy, creepy area. And it was a maze like no other maze in any test. You would have loved it. It would have really challenged you because you're so directionally sound with the way you play games.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
like I run a quest one time and I'll remember it forever.
My head
yeah.
was so spinning. We were going
Really?
through trap doors. We had to pull candlesticks to get through a door. We had to
That's cool.
It was
That is pretty
crazy.
cool.
We spent hours and
That's
hours.
good game
We had to
design.
break it up over 2 days. It was amazing. It was so much fun. And
What was it called again?
It was called Nectropus, Nectropos Castle. And it's like level 30 to 37 is what the range is.
Day just wins our dad joke award.
Uh-oh.
With-
What was it?
So
We have a
it
dad joke
was
award?
amazing.
That's exactly what it was. It was so good.
Amazing.
But we were camping and pulling. And okay, this is pretty cool because this was an instance dungeon. And I know that Minison just did a big video about instance versus non-instant dungeons and on Pantheon Plus. And I was thinking about his video the whole time I'm running because it was a great balance. Because we also, not only did we run that dungeon, we also ran a lower level dungeon called the Ruins of Varsoon. Now, the Ruins of Varsoon, like most dungeons in EQ2 and like Pantheon, are open world. So you get camp spots and people, you pull and pull and pull, but not that castle. And there was a very good game design reason why it's not. Because it's so complex, you do not want respawns. Because it's just such a complex place, you constantly fighting respawns. So I thought, here's an example of great game design. You have this really complex castle, and I hope Pantheon will do this. You have this really complex map, and it's so complex and it's so demanding on you cognitively that it needs to be instance, period. It needs to have a reset button and be instance because you do not want to be clearing trash in that place over and over because you forgot to do something or you lost yourself somehow in there. But
And
it
I
was so much
agree.
fun.
But by the way, we'll talk about this in Getting Soft with the community. But Pantheon Plus did a great video about instanced versus non-instanced raids and dungeons. So definitely check that out. We'll hit it up again in our Getting Soft with the community segment. But I think that's a really interesting conversation. I'm with you, Mila. I want it instanced. I want to go in and it's pure and pristine, and I don't have to worry about knuckleheads running in and out of it. We'll either make it on our own or not at all.
Yeah, I think you can have both. Again, I just would beg Brad and the design team, the more complex the dungeon, the more I would argue it should be instanced.
Exactly.
The more open, and it's not like you don't have to put candlesticks to find a trapdoor and things like that. If it's open world, then simple, then open.
Yeah, there's
open
a difference
world,
between an open world content, like in Guild Wars. They had dungeons, they had raids, they had open world content. So I think there's a difference.
There is, and
Boom. What about you for your Pantheon patient?
Pantheon.
As for my Pantheon patients, everybody knows that I'm all about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's like, it was top 5. It's like my top 2 game now. It's like in the top 2.
Wow,
This game,
that's pretty high praise.
This game, I mean, really, honestly, it's not perfect, and it's not, it's not an MMO, which is my heart, and I just love MMOs and things like that. But they just have done such a good job with design and stuff, and I just hope that people play it so that you understand and can appreciate it for what it is. It's just well done, and I love well done stuff, and that's what my wish for Pantheon developers is. Just make it fun. Just do some things that you know are fun, and if you do that, everybody will play it. Don't try to overthink it or outthink us or outthink the consumer, or just make some stuff that's fun and people will play it. Because, a lot of people say that this game is a grind. I don't even care. Like, I don't care if it's grind. I love grinding in this game. Like, I just grind. And, and I don't have to worry about any dicks because they're not in the game. Tess, it's a single player game. There's no dicks.
Well, I understand.
There's no dicks while I'm grinding. All right. Anyway, so that's what I did, and it was a lot of fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. I just pause now with my computer. If you have a Dell computer, you're probably from Texas, because that's where I think they're built.
That's true.
If you know where Dollywood is and you've been there this year, you might be from Tennessee. And if you've had too much of this beautifully golden mead, then you're definitely from Colorado. And
no, that's moonshine. That's
well. Here's
what
the
you gotta
thing.
worry about.
I am going to be moonshining, so I'm going to be bringing this stuff. And like I said, if you meet up with me, I'm going to have my itinerary soon, and you'll be able to meet up with me. But Militus and I were talking, maybe over the July 4th weekend, and if anybody wants to come and hang out, we need to have a big barbecue on Militus's patio, which is gorgeous, by the way. I've seen pictures.
Thank you, sir.
He hand built it, you guys.
I know, it's amazing. We have to have a party there, and so we're inviting everybody in chat to just come on down and do that. But you need to talk to us and tell us what you're thinking, and then we'll plan that. If not, Militus and I are just going to go to Dollywood, and that's like the Cracker Barrel. Yeah, it's like the Cracker Barrel of amusement parks, and we're just going to go to Dollywood.
Mm-hmm. That's wholesome family music park. Yeah,
it is. It's great. Do they sell like t-shirts with fake gigantic knockers at Dollywood?
Probably. I don't. Dolly doesn't take herself real serious.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But it is family friendly. So
it is family friendly, but Dolly is family friendly, right? So, and she admits, she's had some. So I'm just wondering. That was always the big joke when I was growing up. That's no longer a joke because everybody has.
If we can't get it at Dollywood, I promise you, I can find a local. Get it made. Okay,
all right. Well, that's as long as we have some option there. I was just hoping to get some Dolly Parton originals, but that's okay. Militus, take us away. What do we got?
All right, we got just one topic tonight, and I'll make it quick. And it was posted in Reddit by Kesu. And the topic is planning versus spontaneity in group content. I don't know about you, but the last consistent dungeon group I had was in 2013. One conversation I had really is exemplary from my experience in the last years. I was trying to schedule a group. Someone applied, wildly enthusiastic. When I tried to set up a time, he said he wanted to keep things spontaneous. And with a set time, how is he supposed to know how he is to game his favorite thing to do at that time? Obviously, there are people that have the foresight and attention span of a fly. The consequence,
It's true.
the consequence are Discord servers with thousands of players, a faceless mass, not to say mess, so that spontaneous wish to play group content has a chance to find allies. I was on such a server for science. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Tess will have to shout out the names. I'm in the Google Doc.
Well,
Go ahead.
it was a lot of numbers.
Oh, okay. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bulge
Thank you.
1001. Yes. Okay.
Oh, Bleed TV. Thank you, Bleed TV. I see it.
Thank
I
you.
see it now. I see it. I see it now. Thank you.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
bleed
Thank
some
you.
TV. I think that's amazing. I'm gonna go check that out right now. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
So
Bleed.
this poster said for science. For science. I was on such a server. A little bit more than 21,000 participants. On a single day, there were 14 requests to play in a team. That's kind of 21,000 participants.
That's crazy. Only 14 wanted to play on a team.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Of which 2 had an open reply. In contrast to the 72 screenshots to show people you don't know the items I found. From what I understand, Pantheon wants to be an alternative, if not opposition to conditions like these.
Yeah.
In the latest podcast, it's been said that they want to get a group together and keep this group together. I don't know if they're referring to us.
No,
I think
he did. They did a little dev podcast, and they got on there, and that was one of the things they talked about was they want to get groups together.
VIP podcast.
Yeah, they want to get groups together, but the other thing they said is that now because they want to do that, they sort of feel like they have an obligation to build some things in the game that will help keep that together. Like they feel like there's a little ownership on them to do some things to make it happen. Like
okay, so with the
penis emojis.
Jesus says, how do you suppose they'll manage that? Have you had consistent groups in the last 6 years, of which you didn't have to ignore 80% of the participants? If you're someone not in sync, that a consistent group is possible. So, Tess, what do you think? What has been your experience with consistent groups the last 6 years, and do you think it's possible to have consistent group play?
Oh yeah.
Without schedules.
No. Well, no. Let me put it this way. This is going to go a little away from MMO. Okay. And I'm going to talk about like some tabletop RPG.
Right.
So for years and years and years, I played, this is so embarrassing. I'm such a nerd. I played World of Darkness VTM, Vampire the Masquerade. On AOL to date myself.
Yeah.
And I played in a lot of different campaigns, and it was played on AIM. It was like text and, third party, it wasn't chat. It was all, everybody typed it out. And played for years and years, decades. I played this game. I lied about my age to get into my first game. But there was always a schedule. It was like Wednesday night or whatever night was the big game night, and everybody would show up on Wednesday night. We're talking like 40, 50 people would show up to play on Wednesday night. And the last campaign that I played in didn't have that anymore. It was just show up and play when you want to play. Guess what? In order to play anything, I would have to be sitting online for hours with nothing to do and nobody to play with, just to maybe catch 2 people on at the same time, because there wasn't a dedicated day to play. And it killed the game. I haven't played since. So I would say that no, there's no such thing as just jump on and just play. Yeah, you might be able to scrape together a couple people every once in a while, but what's going to end up happening is you're just going to be sitting there online waiting for somebody to show up, unless you have a friends list that have like 400 people in it. No,
Yeah, that's one of my big
think,
fears of gaming.
Yeah,
right
I don't
now.
think that's possible.
My schedule sucks, and I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. But I do want to be able to have like that regular night.
That's it.
Yeah,
So
you have
I
to have
used
the
to-
regular night.
I used to be. So you may not know
We
this
did.
about me. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we did when we ran our guild.
Yeah, you may not know this about me, but I'm a pretty good bowler. Right? Nobody knows this about me, but I'm actually like, I'm kind of a big deal when it comes to bowling. Anyway, I used to bowl in leagues, and I actually have destroyed this wrist, believe it or not. This wrist right here, when I
Sure
clench it,
you
it
did.
just
Yeah,
cracks.
we know how you
Holy-
destroyed that wrist.
No,
You had
wrong
that-
hand,
you had
wrong
that-
hand, folks.
That spin on the balls.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
when he wore
I
out
knew
the
you.
right
I knew
one,
you'd take it there.
He had to
Yeah.
have a switch hitter for that.
The stranger.
The sister ball.
Anyway, so I used to do that sometimes 2 nights a week, and that was like my thing to look forward to. So it took about 2 to 3 hours. I'd go to the bowling alley. We had lots of friends. It was kind of this really cool social thing, and I kind of miss that. So that's where these games have always kind of filled a void for me. I can hop into some raid or something, and I kind of get that experience back of kind of that scheduled time. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Although I just with these busy schedules these days, man, sometimes I really feel guilty when I miss a time. Like I know I'm gonna normally be there, but then I miss a week. I feel horrible. Like I feel super duper guilty about it. And I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, but I kind of.
I think
it stresses me out, right? It stresses me out a little bit. Yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
I'm
though? It
going to say
stresses
this.
me out.
I found in the last couple of years, my kids were very young when I first started playing MMOs. They were
Right,
tiny,
right.
and they've grown up on me. And
Right.
so when they were younger, like especially my two youngest, they were such infants that like I could like literally hang out in the bedroom with them and take my gaming laptop and like
Yeah,
farm herbs
right.
and WoW and stuff like that.
It was no big deal.
As I got older, I found that more difficult because I felt like I was taking time away from them if I played a bunch.
Yeah. Right.
So what the last few years, what I've noticed, Boom, that's really helped me is I went to my wife and I said, look, this is important to me. Not as important as you, certainly not as important as the kids, but gaming is a part of my identity and it's my hobby. So I have some friends that go out and spend a lot of money playing golf every week and drinking beer. I don't spend near that amount of money, but I like to play games. So I said to her, how do you feel about, she's like, well, you record the podcast on Wednesdays. I'm like, yeah, I'm record podcasts with Boom and Tess. I said, but I want to have like, I think Tuesdays or Fridays. And I want to mark out a couple hours where and I know and the kids know I'm in a game. And that way we don't all feel stressed about it. And if I have to miss, I have to miss. No big deal. But if I just carve it out, you know what they say about most things. If you don't carve out time for them, let's say exercise, you don't carve out time,
right.
you're not going to do it. So
It's true.
you're always going
It's
to feel guilty or wrong or whatever else. So just be proactive. I'm not just speaking to you. I'm speaking to anyone. Be proactive and kind of negotiate that in your relationships with the people you love. If that's an issue for you, and then adhere accordingly. I think things work out, and you get so excited for it. I remember like on Tuesday nights, I'd get home from work, and you were like this too. Boom! I go for, I get my beer together, and I get my chips together, get my laptop all, my gaming rig all set up, everything. I'm like, oh, first pool. First time. You know what I mean? So that if you could set some time aside,
we're all getting older now. We all have a billion other responsibilities. We have work and kids and other family and other interests and hobbies that, and so just expecting somebody to be able to jump on just willy nilly.
Or to
At our
understand.
age,
Yeah. Or to understand that that's what's going on.
We can't do that. And I also, and this is part of the reason why I stopped being a raider. I also can't play for 6 hours a night. You know?
Right.
Here
I am, guys. By the way,
Tuesday
I just
night.
threw it up. There's me with my 300 bowling game. Just gonna go ahead and throw that up for everybody to see.
Oh yeah,
All right.
Boom is a great bowler. I have a
There I
picture
am.
of me, and I'll try to find
check
it.
it out.
He has
Check
this
it out.
like it looks like a Iron Man
Yeah.
arm
Mm-hmm.
that like
Yeah.
it's
That's
crazy.
the
Right.
wrist.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing. He let me try it on, and I'm like bionic tests with
Yeah.
my crazy hand. Yeah,
I think you hit on something there,
Nice.
Militus. The thing that you said that was so smart is be proactive, negotiate those times with your family. Really kind of just make, like you said, you just, instead of not communicating, you basically laid it out. Hey, this is important to me. Because that person that loves you is going to understand that. And that's going to be a thing that, and then it is kind of a reasonable thing. And it also keeps you in check so that you're not overdoing it, because it can get overdone, And I think that's one of the things that the games like Pantheon, the kind of the fear could be when you get engrossed into a game and it really does sort of grab your attention. It's real easy to sort of say, I'm just going to play. And pretty soon you have neglected things, and you don't want to neglect anything in your life. You've got to have some balance with some of this stuff, and MMOs are for sure one of those things you got to be cautious of.
They're hard to balance at times. No doubt about it.
Yeah, especially when everybody's like, oh, hey, this is always what happened to me. So we would run, let's say it's Tuesday night and we're running a raid, and we'd go run this raid, and then the raid finishes up and they're like, hey, we're going to kill the final boss that we didn't kill on Wednesday
Who wants
night.
to run heroic? No, there's one.
Yeah,
We finished a raid back in the day. Like
Yeah.
I finished raid in BC WoW, which took hours. And then the
hours.
first thing after raid was over, hey, Militus, you healing the heroic? We're doing heroics at the calls. You coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
And you're like, I just
That
got
was
done.
exactly what would
It's-
happen.
it's nearly 1 a.m, but
And there's the
what the hell?
Goodness,
Let's do
that. Oh my God, we were so young though. What year was that? That was like
2007.
06? Yeah, 07?
Yeah.
I go
I
back
was
though to
27 years old.
Yeah.
I keep going back though to when we were talking about some of these things, and that's I have this horrible fear in an MMO of not being able to keep up, and that's part of what playing
That's
solo
that fixed
player games.
mindset rearing its ugly
I know.
head.
But right now, I've been playing solo player games because I'm kind of like at that point where I'm like, I'm just letting a group of people down, and I get that in my head, and it's a real strong, powerful thing for me to kind of just be like, hey, I made the raid on Tuesday, but I can't make the raid on Wednesday that everybody's doing, and therefore I'm going to be a whole step behind, right? And it's scary.
Pantheon jubilant.
No, that doesn't work. It has to start with a P. We need alliteration.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
Well, the other thing that drives me nuts is that I'll run into a game that I love, like Guild Wars 2. I loved Guild Wars 2. It's super fun. I haven't done half of what I want to do in Guild Wars 2 because I don't have a group.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Yeah,
whatever.
well, and towards the end of there, right, you did need more of a group. I'm desperately right now trying to find my getting soft to the community music, because that's the next segment.
Yeah.
So
Don't make Militus break out the old YouTube
yeah, I might have to
getting soft music.
I might have to use some very sexy YouTube music.
I
real
think there
quick.
needs to be a Waka Chicka.
Okay, all right, hold on. Let's try this real quick. Let's see if this works.
Some 70s.
Okay, all right, I'll get some Waka Chicka music for the next time. Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Here we
Oh,
go.
it
Here we
broke.
go. Let's see if this works. Here we go. All right. I got it going. I got it actually going,
There we
believe it or
go.
not. But Militus is still going. He's still got it rocking. He's still
Did you
rocking.
hear the wang wang? Just for Boom, I know he loves this picture so much, so I'm gonna put
Yes,
it up there.
that's
Put it away.
Oh, that's so
Put
gross.
it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the night where we get so soft with our community. That's right. We're gonna get the softest we've ever been. So soft. Oh. So, Militus, what do you got for us? You got something for you got soft with some people this week. Who'd you get soft with?
I got all soft up in minus.
Yeah, you got soft.
I've been muted for the last 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched, as I mentioned before, they had a really good, of course, I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week, but them in that PvP roundtable was the shiznit. It was so good. It was
good.
Actual conflict. And then the
it was great. I want to thank them for letting us use that for an episode, by the way. We went live with that on the episode.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It was
Thank you
fantastic.
guys for that.
Yeah. All right.
And then they did as Tess mentioned, the instance versus non-instance raids. And then tonight we had interviews with Minus featuring Haya.
Yeah, that
We got to
was
see his big Canadian
Yeah.
beer.
yeah, that was
beer.
super soft. That was very soft.
Mhm.
Like cotton full of fluffy air soft. You know what I
It
mean?
was bunny soft.
It was droopy soft.
And then, of course,
Like droopy
Tess,
ears.
Tess was droopy and all hot and bothered by Chris Kane's work this past week.
Mr. Kane, sir,
Yeah. He's soft.
I love you.
He's really soft.
I just want to be his friend and hang out.
You just want to be his friend and hang out. Well, you should start tweeting him. You've only set out like 3 tweets since you've got your Twitter.
No, huh? I retweet everybody.
All right.
You're
Do we have
mean to me.
Do we have anybody else that we're soft with this week?
Yeah, we had Micah Does Stuff.
Yeah.
He put out. Yeah, he put out a races a video, part 1.
Yep. All right.
Excited to see more from
New
Micah
stuff
Does
from
Stuff.
him.
So check him out. He's awesome.
Check it out.
And
VOT?
then VOT.
That took
they
their
did
fake
a
break?
ballads.
They took their fake break.
The poor.
They said, "Hey, we're going
boys.
on break." Not.
Those poor boys. They need a break. Okay. Although I want constant updates and more news, give Voices of Terminus a break. They need to chill. Those poor boys. I feel like I should adopt them and make sure that they're liquored up all the time. So
that won't be a problem with Lex.
did we mention Baz's stuff?
No, we haven't. Yeah, Baz did a Q&A video today where if you want to learn a little bit about the insight and psyche of one Bazgram,
It's soft.
he even reveals what he does in his off time.
Yeah. Is it soft?
And then Nathan,
Does he do
I'm
soft
talking loud.
things?
he does soft things. And then Nathan, thank you, Boom. And then Nathan did a hybrid class video, which if you love Paladin, Tessa loves Paladin, or Shaman, or classes like that, you should clearly watch this video about how things are going to be different in Pantheon. And he references the Q&A, the Q&A video, the VIP Q&A video when they were talking about this. So go check it out.
Yeah.
Boomy?
Yeah.
Boomy?
Yeah. Right.
Are you still there?
Yeah. Hold on. There we go. I just got so
your
soft.
camera just fell over.
My camera got soft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're really sorry that we had to come at you
It's
not
Tessa's
on
fault.
Wednesday.
100%.
It's my
kind of-
fault. It's my
It's
fault.
kind of the anti-boner. All right. That we came early, right? It's kind of you can't come early because it's the anti.
Wow. I'm glad that the show is over.
That's what I'm saying. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when Boom starts talking nonsense,
Thank you, Bleed.
you might be on a Dell computer, That's right. By the way, I have 2 Amazon gift cards. They're $10 each. You might think I'm doing a giveaway, but I'm not. I'm going to keep these, and I'm going to buy a game with them.
What kind of shit was that?
That was so mean.
Woo!
Oh, God.
Didn't you love that? I thought that was pretty funny. Did you see people's hopes get up, and then I just dashed them to the ground?
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. I am going to go get for next week, I'm going to go get an actual $50 Amazon gift card.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa!
With
Yep.
Militus' name on it.
Can I win? Can I win this?
And-
What?
And yep, and
No,
we're gonna do a
$50
contest.
bucks.
Yep,
What?
$50.
Oh, it's gonna have to be good for $50.
We'll put something together.
Yeah.
We'll do a 50
$50
buck
bucks.
Amazon.
Okay.
Yep.
Here's a
And also
screenshot
an
for
update
you.
for next week.
Pantheon.
Update for next week. I have been in touch
Okay.
with Redneck Gamer 4570.
Oh yeah.
I am in touch with him via email, and he's assured me he almost wanted to come. He wanted to come on live tonight, and I said,
All he's
no,
got to do is call
that's
the
not
phone.
happening.
Yeah, he's just got to call the
No.
phone number.
I'm literally afraid.
Okay. All right. You're gonna
So
pre-record
we're
something.
gonna do a closed interview.
Okay.
And are we giving shout outs? Can I give a shout out tonight?
Shout it out.
I want to shout out to Micah Does Stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's
Because
shout out
Micah's
Micah.
he's in the chat with us. He's a new
that's
part
great.
of the
He was-
Pantheon Plus
And he
team.
was
on.
last week too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. I
That's
missed it
fantastic.
last week.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He's killer. You guys go check out Micah.
Yeah.
He's fun.
I want to shout out to Ubisoft for making Assassin's Creed because it's awesome. And I'm also going to shout out to Jeremy W. at oakproductions.com for making this awesome music that you hear. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, this show's over. We're out.
Hey guys, dad joke. What do you call a fake lasagna? An impasta.